I kept the voicemail, not because it hurt. Because it clarified. Her voice was steady, controlled in that way she uses when she wants the last word. You're out. Don't come back. If you can't respect this family, then you're not part of it. Click. No hesitation, no room for reply. For most of my life, that tone worked. I would call back within minutes. Apologize even when I wasn't sure what I had done. Restore equilibrium. But this time, I didn't feel the usual drop in my stomach. I listened twice. Then I texted one word, okay, that was it. The argument had been about the house. The one we were buying together. Technically, I was the primary applicant. My credit score, my savings for the down payment. My name anchoring the mortgage approval because theirs couldn't. But the narrative in our family was always that it was their house. I was helping out. Contributing because I was the stable one. When she said, you're out, she meant emotionally. I heard it financially, within an hour. I logged into the shared account and removed my automatic transfer for the closing funds. I emailed the real estate agent requesting a pause on the file pending clarification of borrower participation. I contacted the mortgage officer and asked what would happen if I withdrew. His response was simple. The application cannot proceed. I didn't do any of it angrily, I did it methodically. The way you cancel a subscription you no longer use. By midnight, I had silenced my phone. When I turned it back on the next morning, there were 46 missed calls, 4 voicemails. 1 from my father, brief, strained. 3 from my mother, escalating from sharp to panic. Call me immediately. What did you do? This is ridiculous. At 9:17 a.m., an unfamiliar number appeared. I let it go to voicemail. A calm male voice replaced hers. This is Attorney Feldman. We represent your parents in the residential property transaction. We have a serious problem. I laughed, not loudly in triumph. More in disbelief at the phrasing, we have a serious problem. Yes, you do apparently. Once the lender was notified of my withdrawal, the pre-approval collapsed. The seller had a backup offer. The earnest money deposit, partially wired from my account, was frozen pending clarification. Deadlines were expiring. Without me, the house was air. The calls kept coming. I didn't answer. I sat at my kitchen table with coffee growing cold, and tried to identify what I was feeling. It wasn't revenge, it wasn't even satisfaction. It was something steadier. For years, rejection had been my mother's lever. You're out. Don't come back. The door would slam verbally, and I would scramble to hold it open. This time she closed it, so I locked it from my side. Around noon, I finally responded. Not to her. To the lawyer. I wrote carefully. As I was informed yesterday that I am no longer part of the family, and should not return. I interpreted this as a termination of joint financial commitments. I have withdrawn from the mortgage application accordingly. Any further communication regarding the property should be directed to me in writing. I read it twice. Professional. Then I pressed send. Within minutes, my mother called again. I answered this time. What have you done? She demanded. You said I was out. That's not what I meant. I waited. She exhaled sharply. You don't sabotage your own parents over an argument. I didn't sabotage anything. I said. You ended the partnership. It's not a partnership. It's family. It was both. There was a long silence. I could hear my father in the background asking what I'd said. You're being cruel. She tried. Maybe I would have folded at that word once. But cruelty implies intent to harm. I wasn't trying to hurt her. I was refusing to rescue her. You told me not to come back, I said. I'm respecting that. Her voice cracked for the first time. Not dramatically. Just enough. We'll lose the house. I understand. You're willing to let that happen. I looked around my apartment that I paid for. The couch I chose. The quiet. Yes, I said. Another silence. Heavier. You'd really choose this over us? That question was old trap, as if compliance were the only proof of love. I'm choosing stability, I said. If we're going to do business together, it can't be conditional on whether you're angry. You're unbelievable, she whispered. Maybe. By late afternoon, Attorney Feldman emailed again. This time more measured. He asked whether I would consider reinstating the application under revised terms. There it was. The shift, not emotional pleading. Not parental authority. Negotiation. I didn't respond immediately. I took a walk instead. The air was cold enough to sting. I thought about what it would mean to step back in. About future arguments. Future, you're out. Ultimatums tied to mortgages and payments. Trust, once shaken, doesn't automatically reset. When I got home, I drafted a reply. I am open to reconsidering financial involvement under the following conditions: so honor. Percentage reflective of capital contribution. Formal written agreement outlining decision, making authority, and commitment that communication regarding the property remains per cashinum. No sarcasm. No gloating, just terms. I don't know yet what they'll decide. Maybe they'll find another lender. Maybe they'll let the deal collapse. Maybe they'll sign. What I do know is that something fundamental shifted. For the first time, when she said, "You're out," I didn't run back in. And whatever happens to that house, I'm not the one standing outside the door anymore.